Ready, take it around the next corner, nice and strong. Eyes in the bunch, straight ahead. Ratings at 33.
Just seen Ainsley tell her crew to keep their eyes on the boat as they go past quite a crowd. They can start to hear the crowd in the bank, and they just need to keep focused on their boat to make sure that they can catch this Cambridge crew. Now is the time they must do that.
We talk about the Waikato crew having the right of way. They own the western side of the bank. At what point, if they get up alongside of the crew from Cambridge, does Cambridge need to give away?
As soon as the Waikato crew could get their bow up onto the Cambridge stern, that will force this Cambridge crew out into the middle of the river. So you can see from that shot it's still about a length and a half, but Waikato are gaining. They're doing very, very well here.
And they're coming up to the last bridge, which means the last cross.
So what we're going to see here is the Waikato crew are the ones that need to cross, and here they go. They're going very, very early. Ainsley needs to make a difference here, so she'll be hoping that they can get some good water on that east side and claw something back on this Cambridge crew.
A gutsy move, courage under fire. You've got to love Ainsley Ashton. So much experience. She has thrown the gauntlet down on this Cambridge crew. She said, come on guys, it's time to rock and roll. They're on the eastern side of the river. That's where they want to be. It seems to be just a little bit faster down that side, and maybe she is just starting to sense this Cambridge crew are tying up. Have they gone out too quickly? Have they confused ability with ambition?
The other thing here, Mark, is the Waikato crew will now be able to look over their left shoulder and actually see this Cambridge crew for the first time. So this is going to lift these Waikato guys. They'll have a look. They're allowed to have a look. She'll be telling them to have a look, and they'll be into this race.
There's a message in this. Over a distance of 3.8 kilometres, you can leave nothing to chance. You can't afford to miss training sessions. You've got to be the first on the water, the last off the water, because it can come down just 2 inches. And this is what will ultimately determine who will win this 2010 Harry Mann Trophy.
Through the water, not on the slide. Adding 35.
Telling factor now is going to be how tired are those Cambridge boys, because they have come all the way around the world here. They got out to a very, very fast start. Can they hang on now?
So the Cambridge Blues team just moving their way into the middle of the river. They'll come across some reasonably strong eddies, some rough water that will continue to slow them down.
What we're seeing now is this Waikato crew is actually closing. They haven't had to make such a strong move into the middle of the river like the Cambridge guys to get round this last bridge.
And a wonderful shot there, just demonstrating just how much movement there is on this water and how important it is in terms of hugging the west, the east side of the bank. We've talked about it, but that is the key when you go back to this purest form of rowing.
Once again, the Cambridge coxswains having to throw that boat around to get round that bridge. Waikato in a really hot spot here. They can really make a difference if they can hug that bank and just keep powering up towards that finish line.
Oh, it's a brutal sport, Scott. The heart rates are through the roofs, the legs are burning, the arms are burning. Asking everything of themselves, punishing themselves. They're probably saying, what have I done wrong? Why am I hurting as much as I'm hurting right now?
They are really coming back here. They'll be having a quick look. They'll see that Cambridge crew. These guys have really got to dig it in now. He's just having a quick look.
The moment of truth. They come down, just over 300 metres left to row. It is the Cambridge Blues out to the right, the Waikato 8 to the left-hand side. Ainsley Ashton continues to pump the orders out. She's asking more.
And you can see there Ainsley's decision to cross early has worked in their favour, and this Cambridge crew's just starting to look sluggish. These guys need to go. They'll be looking across. They'll see Waikato coming.
We talked earlier, Scott, about not looking at the faces. Look at the form of the rowers. That is the best indication of fatigue. You're just starting to see on the Cambridge crew the shoulders beginning to drop.
Absolutely, but you know, these guys are well trained. They'll be digging it in. They're running on autopilot about now. Look how close those crews are, really. They're a long way apart. But hey, they can see each other, they'll sense each other, they'll be hearing the helicopter, they'll start to hear the crowd, looking across there, seeing where this Waikato crew is.
Wonderful theatre, wonderful drama. Cambridge, these two crews have raced each other on 4 occasions. It is currently tied at 2-2. Who will take the lead in this wonderfully contested series between these two great universities?
And Ainsley still throwing that boat around, trying to claw back every little piece, get as far across to that east bank as we can. But hey, look, Cambridge are not giving in. They are not giving in. They're still going strong.
It's almost like they've got just a little bit of second wind. this far more experienced crew from Cambridge, doing what they do best, doing what they've done since 1829 when the boat race was established, that famous race down the River Thames between themselves and Oxford University.
And we can see now their blade work's looking pretty good. They're powering it in there. That's a big crew, but Waikato, they're not giving up yet.
A young, inexperienced crew from the Waikato. A lot of these rowers come from the single sculls, having to come together, get together in a team, learn the dynamics of 8-man boat racing. They've done a stellar job, but at the moment it is the boys from Cambridge who look like they've got this one in the bag. The Harry Mann Trophy, it means so much to both of them. He's had a huge influence on both universities, and it will be the Cambridge Blues who will take out the 2010 Harry Mann Trophy.
And you can see the absolute ecstasy in that Cambridge crew taking out this race.
And Ainsley Ashton, isn't she a hard taskmaster? They know they've lost the race, but she's still wanting more out of them. She's still wanting them just to hurt that little bit more.
Very good effort by the Waikato crew, an experienced crew, but hey, hopefully these guys will be back next year.
Experience so important. Again, it's okay to lose, just make sure you don't lose the lesson.
Come on, boys!
And you can just look on the faces of how important this is to the Cambridge crew.
Real example, Mark, where I think in this case Power has just overcome the other crew. Very, very nice rowing by the Cambridge crew. They'll be very happy with this. They'll be taking this form back to their 2011 boat race campaign.
And more importantly, they gather a lot of data off the water here, a lot of historical information. They can then, base their training on that in 2011, 2012 and beyond. Let's head riverside and get the word from both crews.